She posted something on her online platform, wondering aloud why men become so jealous whenever you hang out with guy pals. Mere hours after I'd requested she skip tagging along with her former flame on an outdoor getaway. I stayed silent, simply revising my workplace emergency info to list my sibling instead. That evening, she rang me 31 times straight, unaware I was already chatting with her folks about skipping their weekly family meals. Hello folks, we've now reached 10,000 followers. A huge shout out to everyone who's stuck with the page. Yet, just 16.4% of viewers have followed along. So if the material resonates, kindly tap that follow icon to boost our reach. The events played out over the prior weekend, and I'm still processing the speed at which it all crumbled. My partner, Emily, and I had shared a solid bond for over 2 years. I figured our connection was rock steady. Roughly a year back, we started showing up for her clan's weekly gatherings, turning it into a beloved habit. Her mom and dad dote on me. Her sibling Megan views me as solid, and I blended seamlessly into their household vibe. About 3 weeks prior, Emily brought up that her old beau, Ryan, was organizing a wilderness outing with their shared university group. She expressed interest in tagging along to link up with past buddies, insisting it'd be a blast. The idea didn't sit well with me. Ryan and Emily had dated for 3 full years during school. They'd kept things civil post-split, but Ryan often comes off awkward in my presence, tossing out nods to their history or quietly leaving me out of shared message threads. The sort of person who does that. And this was an overnight wilderness adventure, complete with shelters, bedding rolls, and drinks. It struck me as a recipe for regrettable decisions. I let Emily know I felt uneasy about her heading off on this outing with her ex. I wasn't aiming to boss her around, merely voicing my unease. Emily turned prickly right away. She dismissed Ryan as old news and labeled my worries baseless paranoia. She maintained she ought to nurture whatever connections she pleased. The issue isn't connections, Emily. It's establishing limits within a partnership. She shut down any dialogue, charging me with micromanaging her acquaintances and deeming it unjust. The back and forth dragged on for several days. I pointed out that such outings foster closeness, and her ex spearheading it amplified the problem. Emily countered that I was overly suspicious and envious. At last, I stated that if upholding this tie outweighed honoring my stance on limits, perhaps our visions for the future diverged. Emily branded me theatrical, accusing me of laying down demands rather than simply believing in her. Come that Sunday, Emily uploaded to her feed a drawn-out note on how males flare up over females' guy acquaintances, how worry disguised as oversight remains oversight, and how ladies deserve to sustain ties minus their significant others flipping out. She left my name out, but the intent was crystal clear to all. Her circle jumped in, dropping remarks on poisonous manhood and needy partners, adding fuel to the fire. I held back, skipped liking it, avoided any interaction. I merely captured a snapshot and pondered the implications of her words. Emily wasn't merely clashing views with me. She was openly casting my worries over limits as envy and dominance. She positioned me as the doubtful beau unable to cope with her guy pals. It hit me then that Emily didn't merely differ from my take. She dismissed my viewpoint and disregarded my emotions. The next day, I reached out to the office admin team and altered my crisis notifier from Emily to my brother, Alex. I likewise revised my inheritance designee and health directive proxy, excising Emily completely and naming Alex. Alex sounded taken aback when I rang to loop him in. All good between you two? Not quite. More on that soon, but I had to refresh my details. That Monday night, Emily dropped by for our routine meal, seeming upbeat and chattering about her getaway prep. She carried on like our clash hadn't occurred and her online share wasn't a pointed dig at me. I skipped bringing up the upload or my updates, merely hearing her out as she went on about nature paths and open flame feasts. The following day, I chose to loop in Emily's parents prior to any further blow-up. Her mom and dad, Karen and Mark, had treated me warmly throughout, and they merited the full picture. I dialed Karen and sought a discreet chat. Karen, Emily and I are facing major hurdles. Chances are I'll pass on this week's family meal. Karen sounded worried, inquiring about the details and offering aid. I laid it out thoughtfully. Emily's set on joining her ex for this wilderness jaunt, and voicing my limit concerns prompted her to share online, branding them envy and dominance. I hate dragging you into this, Karen. I simply aimed to clarify my potential absence going forward. Karen paused, absorbing it. Appreciate you sharing. That doesn't align with the Emily we're familiar with. I noted she's at liberty to decide for herself, but I can't persist in a bond where my limits get openly mocked. Karen expressed gratitude for my candor and wished for a fix. The day after, I had a parallel exchange with Mark. He absorbed it predictably. You've consistently shown courtesy and balance. If something troubles you, it's likely valid. That Thursday night, Emily was gearing up for the excursion, cramming her pack with bedding and trail tools, proceeding as if all was normal. Certain you're fine with my plans? She queried, sealing her pack. You've settled on your path, Emily. As have I. And what does that imply? It implies you're welcome to nurture any ties you desire. She appeared satisfied and kept at her prep. Friday dawn, Emily departed for the venture. She planted a farewell peck and promised updates upon arrival. Mid-afternoon Friday, near 3, Emily messaged they'd hit the site and setup was underway. She attached a team snapshot of the group raising shelters. Friday evening, roughly 9, she rang for a quick update, noting they were enjoying fire-cooked grub and reminiscing. Her tone suggested a buzz. Thinking of you, Han. Hoping you're alongside. Enjoy yourself, Emily. Be cautious. The next day brought 0 word from Emily. 0 messages, 0 rings, 0 updates. Complete quiet. Saturday evening, nearing 11, my device lit up. Emily dialing. I let it go. She tried once more seconds later. Passed. A third attempt followed shortly. No pickup. Emily shifted to messaging, probing my lack of reply and pressing for a return call. I muted the alerts and turned in. Sunday dawn, I arose to 31 overlooked rings and roughly 50 dispatches from Emily. Her notes shifted from anxious to irate to pleading. She was evidently unraveling from my quiet. Rather than reaching out, I headed to her folks' place. I sensed this could mark my final family meal there, and they warranted clarity. Karen and Mark were caught off guard arriving solo. I shared Emily remained on the outing, and I required addressing our tie. I'm parting ways with Emily. This may well be my closing family meal with you. Karen appeared crushed. Mark looked let down yet unsurprised. I detailed how Emily placed her ex's bond above my limit sentiments. She opted to label my worries envy and dominance publicly rather than hashing it out with me. She chose to broadcast online, depicting me as the domineering partner over private resolution. Mark inclined his head. That's no way to tackle partnership snags. I noted our desires clashed. She craved Liberty Sands' regard for her mate's emotions, whereas I sought shared regard and dialogue. We shared a poignant wrap-up meal. Karen bundled extras for me per usual. They both embraced me farewell, lamenting the outcome. Near 6 that evening, Emily returned from her jaunt. My line activated. Where on earth were you? I've been trying to reach you through the night and beyond. I nearly alerted medical centers. I joined your folks for the family meal. Why ignore me? As I was outlining why future meals won't include me. Quiet. What do you mean? I mean you selected an ex-led outing over honoring my sentiments. It was merely a buddy excursion. And the online share dubbing me domineering was simply your outlet. Correct? Extended quiet. You caught that. All did, Emily. That was the point, yes? I was merely worked up. You were blowing it out of proportion. You opted to assail our tie openly rather than converse directly. There's a gap. 0 occurred during the jaunt. Undoubtedly. Yet you revealed your focuses by deriding my worries in public over private exchange. Ending it over an upload? Ending it since you undervalue me and our tie enough to manage clashes with poise. Follow-up. 3 days on. Emily's pushing to mend matters. But the truth is settling. Her folks are let down by her moves, and she's aware. Megan rang to gauge my state, noting Emily's been tearful with their mom, insisting I flipped over a basic outing. Their mom countered that opting online over direct talk was childish and rude. Karen apparently noted that broadcasting tie woes publicly signals flawed choices. Emily's dropping ambiguous updates about how certain males can't manage empowered females. Her crew's rallying, yet her kin's been sharper. The outing didn't unfold as Emily envisioned. Megan picked up from shared contacts that Ryan got excessively forward with Emily, leaving her uneasy. She aimed to bail ahead of schedule, prompting her frantic outreach to me. My quiet forced the wake-up. Alex rang, checking my welfare as Emily had pinged him claiming urgency. I suggested dialing emergency services if grave. Emily bristled at that. The prior day, Emily showed at my spot, seeking a patch-up. She expressed regret over the upload and conceded the jaunt with Ryan crossed lines. She claimed insight into my unease now. I heard her out, then detailed why her regret fell short. Emily, you didn't merely air. You assailed my persona openly rather than engaging me. That's no slip. It's deliberate. I'll erase the upload and issue a public sorry. Past the point. You exposed your clash style. You bypass me. You strike out publicly. Unjust. No, Emily. Undermining me online was unjust. Emily contended all air and merit retries. This wasn't an error. You elected your ex's pull and public derision. She departed distressed, at last seeing deeds carry enduring fallout. 3 weeks onward, Emily's navigating singlehood. Her kin backs her yet has been direct on her missteps. Karen shared she discarded a fine tie for a boundary-blind jaunt. Mark noted open slights doom ties quicker than hushed spats. Emily's romantic pursuits hit snags. Bows she eyes hear of the online fuss, complicating faith. Ryan chased post-jaunt, but she demurred. She craved his nod solely to bolster her anti-me narrative. Solo now, his bids rang off-key. My days have improved sans the turmoil. Gone are the days dodging a partner's public jabs in disputes. I've begun linking with a fresh face who airs differences openly. She'll note I disagree, but let's unpack our views. There's a breath of fresh air partnering with one who prizes shared insight. Emily grasped that open slights yield personal tolls. She chased online nods over mending our rift directly. She earned her pals' nods. She merely forfeited the tie she professed to treasure. At times, the sharpest reply to open slights is departure.